Before the noise, before the names, before the ground learned how to shake, there was a measure laid in secret.
I wasn't raised on reaction. I was formed where silence keeps, where the line was drawn in shadow and the ground was taught to speak. They say faith is just a feeling till the pressure proves the lie. You don't know what holds a building till the weight is multiplied. I watch towers chase the daylight, built on echoes, built on sound. Every promise spoken loudly, with no witness in the ground. So I learned to read foundations, not the banners, not the flame. Stone remembers every oath, even when the builders change. I've been counted out in whispers, I've been measured wrong on sight, but the plumb line doesn't argue with the dark or with the night. If the door was never meant to open, it won't move when pushed by hand. Still can bend beneath the crowd, stone obeys a deeper plan. I've seen truth reduced to slogans, I've seen crowns made out of breath, but no voice outlives the word that was spoken over death. They asked why I don't move. I said because the ground remembers what was sworn before the storm, before the fear, before the tremor. I've been pressed like oil from olives, turning crush until it ran. Fire doesn't come to wound you, it reveals the faithful grain. Sifted wheat looks just like waste till the chaff is called away. What remains can feed a nation, what was light just drifts away. If the watchman sees the morning, he doesn't shout into the dark. He stands still upon the wall, because he knows the signal's marked. Not by my strength, but by the weight beneath my feet. I stand because the ground was sworn before my heart learned how to beat. I stand before my heart learned how to beat. I stand. Let the floods rehearse their stories, let the winds repeat their threats. Nothing built on borrowed time outlast covenant and breath. You can move the line for comfort, you can trade the truth for peace, but a stone set by the maker doesn't shift for its release. I was not designed for bending, I was not assigned to sway. I was placed where standing still was the only form of faith. When the noise runs out of breath and the dust remembers truth, some of us remain because we were never ours to move. Before my heart learned how to beat, before my heart learned how to beat. I turned on the screen and the room got loud. I turned on the TV station, confronted with aggravation. Who's right, who's wrong, arguing the saturation. Every banner needs a villain, every side needs confirmation. Truth reduced to sound bites, sold back as revelation. They pass the paper, shake the hands, call emotion liberation. But the ink don't cleanse the conscience when the heart's in desolation. I've seen laws move faster than mercy ever does. I've seen men speak peace with their fingers on the guns. Everybody shouting history while repeating ancient sin. Repainting old rebellions, calling chaos discipline. They measure right by volume, they measure wrong by fear. But the still small voice doesn't fight to dominate the air. You can't vote truth into power, you can't legislate the light. You can't rename the darkness just because it won the night.
There's only one truth that matters.
Spoken before the nations, before the borders, before the crowns, before the drums of war. Learned how to make the proudest sound. I've watched empires chase relevance till they crumble in the dust. Every kingdom needs a god, and every god demands your trust. So I take shelter in the covenant, not the headlines, not the spin, because the word outlives the moment. Every age keeps failing in. I see it. I see the weight behind the curtain. I see the cost they never name. I see the fear dressed up as progress. I see the guilt disguised as change. I don't need the play-by-play. I don't need the break-in news. I've read the end of every system that was built on shifting truth. I won't bow to the noise. I won't drink the confusion. I stand under the reward that doesn't need revision. I won't bow to the noise. I won't drink the confusion. I stand under the reward that doesn't need revision. When the volume burns itself out and the screens go dark and cold, the covenant will still be standing. It always was. This isn't anger. This is grief. I walked through streets that learned to shout, but forgot how to pray. Every wound is justified by the words we chose to say. We traded wisdom for reaction, depth for speed, truth for heat. Called it justice when we struck, called it mercy when we retreated. Somewhere we lost the map, somewhere the compass bent. We stopped asking what was right and started asking what we meant. I see uniforms under helmets. I see fear behind their eyes. I see families holding breath, wondering who comes home tonight. I see rage dressed up as virtue. I see children caught between. Grown men playing prophet with a conscience barely seen. We call confusion freedom, we call silence being kind. But love that won't protect the young has already crossed the line.
This world is not confused.
It is lost. It is lost.
This world is not confused.
It is lost. It is lost. I don't hate the ones who wander. I don't curse the ones who fall. But I won't call the darkness light, just to keep from standing tall. The book was never built to bend to whatever hurts the least. It was forged to hold a people when the wolves were at their feet. If the shepherd drops the staff and the watchman leaves the wall, then the innocent pay first when the system starts to stall. We mourn this. We mourn the truth we stop defending. We mourn the line we let erase. We mourn the cost of looking brave while we turned our eyes away. But mourning isn't quitting and grief is not retreat. The word still sets a boundary between mercy and deceit. So we rebuild what was broken, not with fists, not with flame, but with truth that doesn't flinch when the whole world shifts the blame. The foundation still exists, the covenant still holds, and those who remember it will not disappear quietly. Will not disappear quietly. Will not disappear quietly.
This road is not confused.
It is lost. It is lost.
This world is not confused.
It is lost. It is lost. The foundation still exists. The covenant still holds. And those who remember it will not disappear quietly.
Not every battle is loud. Some are won by not moving. There was a line drawn in the dust before the dust learned how to speak, before the crowd learned how to sway, before belief got soft and weak. It wasn't drawn by popular hands. It wasn't shaped by passing fear. It was written into covenant and carried year to year. Some lines were meant to hold a people, not to bend. When pressure comes, you don't redraw what guards the innocent. Just a quiet, louder drums. The line still stands. I hear truth diluted daily,
more than enough to disappear. Every warning labeled hatred, every boundary called severe. They trade conviction for permission, they trade wisdom for relief. They call surrender understanding, they call doubt a higher belief. But mercy is a moral silence, and love doesn't erase the law. The same word that heals the broken still names the wound for what it was. We didn't write the line, we were trusted to keep it. Not everyone who holds the line is looking for a fight. Some of us are guarding gates through long and faithless nights. We don't move the stones for comfort, we don't loosen truth for peace. We don't change the map to match the storm, we wait for it to cease. Because every age needs watchmen more than echoes in the crowd. Someone willing to stand quietly when falsehood shouting loud. The line still stands. Fire doesn't ask opinions, it reveals what's real and what's pretend. What survives was built on promise, not on how the moment bends. When the smoke clears from the questions, when the noise runs out of breath, what remains will still be standing, just as sure as life and death. The line still stands, the word still holds, the truth still weighs more than the noise. Not because we're perfect, not because we're many, but because some things were never ours to move.
Every generation is handed a moment. We decide what survives it. We don't teach them by reacting, we don't teach them by retreat. They're watching how we carry truth when it costs us something real. They're counting how we answer when the room demands we bend. They're learning what we value by the lines we won't amend. Every silence is a lesson, every shortcut leaves a trace. They inherit what we practice, not the words we meant to say. So we place it in their hands. So we place it in their hands. Yeah. We don't hand them all the answers, we don't promise easy ground. We give them roots that hold steady when the storms come crashing down. We teach them love and structure, that compassion still can stand. That truth doesn't lose its power just because it's not in demand. We show them how to guard a boundary without hardening the heart, how to carry grace and courage without tearing both apart. We don't inherit the future, we prepare it, we walk it forward. We speak the word in moments, not to posture, not to preach, but to show them how it breathes when belief gets hard to reach. We teach them every voice that sounds gentle isn't right, and wisdom doesn't always shout, sometimes it stands through the night. Because the faith that lasts the longest isn't built on borrowed flame, it's forged in quiet obedience before they ever know our names. We place it in their hands. We place it in their hands. Yeah. One day they'll face the question we've already answered here. Will they move the ancient markers of God, what we held dear? They won't remember every sentence, they won't quote us when we're gone, but they'll remember how we stood when the pressure leaned on strong. They'll remember what we carried when the cost was clear and high. They'll remember what we chose when the world asked us to lie. We place it in their hands. The truth, the line, the word that still stands. We place it in their hands. Wait, the fire, the faith that understands. We place it in their hands. Truth, the line, the word that still stands. We place it in their hands. The weight, the fire, the faith that understands. Not to fight our battles, not to repeat our fear, but to walk farther with what we kept intact. Yeah.
We didn't raise them to replace us, we raised them to rise with us.
Listen.
We laid the stones where truth could breathe, when the ground was hard and thin. We carried light through shadowed years, so they'd know where to begin. We held the line when it wasn't praised, when the cost outweighed the gain. We stayed when walking would have been easier than bearing every name.
Now we hear it in the silence, something shifting underneath.
Yeah,
Not rebellion, recognition,
yeah.
not demand belief. We show the way.
Now they're stepping in.
Something's rising.
Yeah, we see fire behind their eyes,
Anger, something clean.
a hunger shaped like purpose.
Nothing always seems.
They're asking better questions, they're counting what is true. They don't want a borrowed answer, they want something lived through. They watched us choose conviction when compromise looked kind. They learned that love is structure and truth doesn't change with time. We saw the way you stood your ground when standing wasn't safe. We heard the truth, you didn't change even when the cost was great. We learned that faith is more than words, it's what you choose to do. We learned to trust the word of God because we watched it carry you. Yeah, we hear the weight they're carrying in a world that pulls them fast. We hear the fear beneath the strength of a future tied to past. So we don't shout them into battle, we don't rush them to the flame. We stand beside them shoulder firm, calling Jesus by his name. We tell them they are not alone, that the shepherd still draws near, that the same word that carried us is already holding them here. We're not afraid to speak his name, we're not ashamed of truth. We're learning how to walk it out, not just believe but move.
We know the road is narrow still.
Yeah.
We know it won't be easy, but we won't trade what matters most for comfort or for meaning. Something's rising.
Listen to the hearts of children. They're not asking for the throne, they're asking for a place to stand. And no, they're not alone. Don't let them fall through silence, don't leave them without a name. Lift them up with steady hands and truth that doesn't change. What we guarded wasn't wasted, what we planted didn't die. It's breathing now in younger lungs, learning how to rise.
You show the way.
We're standing here.
Something's rising. We heard the truth. We held the line. Something's rising. We'll make the room. We'll hold the line. We'll walk beside you.
Now rise. Now rise.
Every morning, the weight is already there. Wake up with the gravity before my feet touch ground. Another day of choosing right when the easier way is loud. Conviction isn't comfortable, it doesn't let you sleep. It asks you to remember truth when forgetting would be cheap. I carry chains they never see, not metal, something worse. The cost of walking narrow roads in a world that widens first. Faith isn't flowing upward, it's pushing through resistance. It's lifting weight again today with practice, persistence. Some mornings feel like prisons, built of doubt and bone. Doors that don't respond to force, only to stay known. I've learned you don't break chains by pretending they're not there. You staying long enough inside them till obedience wears them thin.
This is the part no one claps for.
I've prayed the same prayer tired. I've said, Lord, help on repeat. Not because I don't believe, but because belief is teeth. There were days the cross feels heavy, like it was built for someone else. But I remember he walked first and didn't set it down himself.
The weight is real, but weight doesn't mean abandonment, and chains are not the end. Some pressure is just shaping what the fire's gonna
Sin, I feel the tension start to change. Not gone, but reorganized, like something locked is weakening. Like truth is realigning inside.
The weight is working.
Every step I didn't quit on, every time I chose to stay, filed the bars a little thinner without me knowing the way. Obedience is not the prison, it's the rhythm of the key, and freedom doesn't always shout.
Sometimes it clicks quietly.
I'm still breathing, I'm still standing. Something's giving way.
From weight,
chains didn't disappear. They opened. And I walked out. We don't move because we see. We move because we trust.
There's a road that doesn't explain itself. It just keeps going on. No marker shouting guarantees. No proof the ground is strong. Every step feels unanswered. Every mile feels unseen. But faith was never built on sight. It was built on what we believe. I've learned the dark doesn't mean abandoned. It just means the light's ahead. Some promises don't shine at first. They steady where they're led.
So we walk by faith.
The world keeps asking for a map. God asked me for my hand. One more certainty and ink, the other asked me to stand. I don't always know the ending. I don't always feel secure. But I know the one who called me here, and his footsteps are sure. Bread for today, not for years, that's how trust is fed. Enough strength for this next step, enough light for where I'm led.
Sight wants proof. Faith wants obedience.
I've seen people freeze in comfort, afraid to lose control, mistaken standing still for keeping hold of their soul. But faith that never rests, obedience is just belief on pause. The road reveals who's following, not who agrees with God. So I listen for the quiet pull that doesn't beg or shout, the kind of leading you don't feel till you're already walking it out.
We walk by faith.
We walk when answers aren't immediate, when the sky refuses signs. We walk when trust costs reputation, when truth asks for our time. We walk when the path feels lonely, when the noise goes another way. Because the shepherd doesn't need a crowd to know where he should stay. Walking by faith, not by sight. Walking by faith through the night. Walking by faith, step by step. Still light, still help.
We'll see when it's time to see. Until then, we walk. We don't stop because we're finished. We stop because we're faithful. The world keeps counting motion as if speed equals worth. But some ground is only healed when you let it rest from work. I've learned not every silence means the fire's gone out. Sometimes strength is being quiet when noise is screaming loud. I don't lose momentum when I kneel instead of run. I remember who I'm walking with and where the road comes from.
Stillness is not surrender. Stillness is not surrender. I've seen people burn their calling, trying to outrun their fear, forgetting even manna fell one morning at a time, not years. Rest was written into creation. Before the fall, before the fight, God didn't need it, we did, to remember wrong from right. Stopping doesn't mean I'm drifting. It means I trust the hand that leads. I don't have to prove my value by bleeding every need. Even the earth was told to rest.
faith that never learns to pause will confuse exhaustion with zeal, but obedience that honors rest keeps the heart awake and real. I don't fear the quiet moment where no one's watching me. That's where the noise falls away and God reminds me who to be. Stillness is not surrender. I rise when it's time to rise again. I move when the pillar moves, but I won't outrun the presence just to say I had something to prove. Because rest is part of warfare when the fight is fought in truth. It sharpens love and steadies hands. It keeps the call from breaking you. Stillness is not surrender. It's trust. It's breath. It's listen. Stillness is not surrender. It's strength being renewed. The road will still be there. So will I. After I rest.
Before we had language for the struggle, there were prayers. We didn't invent this standing, we stepped into something old. Footprints worn into the stone by the faithful and the bold. Before the noise learned our names, before the world learned speed, there were voices rising slowly, asking God for what we need.
Not answers wrapped in comfort, not escape from consequence.
Just strength enough to remain in obedience and reverence. We're not alone in this. I hear the weight of ancient words moving underneath my breath. Prayers carried through centuries that outlived both life and death. They didn't shout their convictions, they didn't chase the flame. They sang the truth until it shaped the very sound of faith. When fear didn't have a language, they gave it one to kneel. When the night refused to lift, they taught the dark to feel holy, steady, still. I walk through a modern wilderness with an ancient song behind, reminding me the road is narrow but the truth is wide. That belief isn't fragile just because it's quiet now. That faith survives and whispers long after shouts burn out. I don't need a new foundation, I don't need a louder sound. I need the prayer that held the line when empires broke the ground. We're not alone in this.
So let the chant keep moving under everything we say. Let it carry what we can express when words give way. We stand inside a chorus that never learned to end. Every generation adding breath to what the last one said. Ancient words, living faith. Ancient prayers, still away.
We don't walk alone.
We don't walk alone. We don't walk alone.
We never have.
We don't walk alone.
We don't walk alone. We never have.
Every morning, conviction wakes up before comfort.
Yeah. Wake up heavy with the same old fight. Same resistance, same pull to the side. Truth costs energy before daylight. Easier roads always look more polite. Alarm clock ringing like a warning bell. Another day choosing heaven itself. Chains ain't visible, but I feel them clench. Every small decision leaves a dent. Discipline feels like dragging iron, while the world keeps promising lighter options. But faith wasn't built for convenience, it was forged in daily opposition. This weight isn't random, it's shaping something.
Break it open, let it fall away. Every chain that held us loses strength today. Break it open, feel the release. What was meant to bind
conviction doesn't come with applause. It comes with silence and narrow laws. No shortcuts dressed in mercy talk. No soft edits to the ancient thoughts. Some days obedience feels like loss, like carry wood instead of a crown. But I remember who carried first and didn't put the burden down.
This isn't guilt, this is gravity, pulling me toward what's true. Every step against resistance files the chains thinner too. Break it open, let it breathe. Every locked door weakens when we refuse to leave. We refuse to leave. Break it open, stand and stay. What was wait this morning doesn't rule the day. Doesn't rule the day.
I feel the tension start to loosen, not gone, but rearranged like pressure turning into motion, like lofting starting to change. Freedom doesn't hit like lightning, it clicks like a turning key. Quiet, steady, undeniable, chain by chain releasing me. What tried to slow me down with fear now sharpens how I move. The weight that trained my discipline prepared me for the truth. I'm not lighter because the cost is gone, I'm lighter because I stayed. Didn't run when it burned the longest, didn't fold when it asked for fate.
Break it open, lift your head. Every morning mercy meets us where we stand. Meets us where we stand. Break it open, walk it out. Once held us captive, has no power now. Has no power now. Oh, no. The weight didn't disappear. It trained me. And this morning I move free.
Freedom doesn't mean full hands. It means trusting what's given. I woke up free but not finished. Still human, still need grace. Still learning not to store tomorrow like I'm running out of faith. The world's to stack it higher just in case the ground gives way. But I've seen worry rot the soul faster than an empty plate. I don't need more than I can carry. I need enough to stay aligned. Bread for the day keeps pride in check and teaches trust one step at a time. I don't ask for excess, I ask to be sustained.
Give us today what we need to stand. Not too much, just your hand. Give us today the strength to stay. Daily bread for the narrow way.
I watch people drown in surplus, chasing peace they can't digest, confusing full hands with full hearts, calling weight a blessing, test for man, a spoil when hoarded. It was never meant to last. Enough for now keeps eyes awake, enough for now keeps fear in check. There in check. Dependence isn't weakness, it's alignment with the truth. You don't outgrow needing God, no matter how strong you move. Or got a mask for excess. What won't deceive, not the lie we can self-believe.
Give us today what won't deceive, not the lie we can self-believe. Give us today the courage to pray, daily bread, lead the way.
I don't confuse provision with the comfort of control. I've learned faith feeds obedience, now the appetite to own a table set by someone greater. I don't serve the meal myself. Gratitude becomes my posture when I stop reaching for the shelf. This isn't poverty of vision, it's richness without the chain. I'm full enough to walk upright and light enough to remain. Tomorrow doesn't need my panic, it needs my trust intact. If he carried me through yesterday, he won't fail to come back.
Give us today our daily bread, every step by what you said. Give us today the will to stay fed by faith, led by grace. Give us today, I don't need the future to prove the promise. Give us today, I just need today.
And God has already met me here.
Give us today, I don't need permission to stand where I stand.
I've outgrown the need to explain myself to every voice that disagrees. Truth doesn't ask for consensus, it just stands where it's supposed to be. I don't sharpen faith for applause, I don't sand it down for peace. If standing cost me comfort, then comfort wasn't meant to lead. I've watched conviction get mislabeled as cruelty, as pride, as fear. But clarity looks harsh when compromise is the currency here.
I know what I carry, I know why I stand. I'm not ashamed, I'm not afraid. I won't rewrite what heaven says. I'm not ashamed, I won't retreat. Truth is louder than disbelief.
They say soften the edges, just enough to fit the room. But truth will rounded corners doesn't cut chains or clear the gloom. I didn't inherit this faith to dilute it for the age. I received it as a lifeline, not a trend on the public stage. Some things don't need defending, they need holding through the storm. The word doesn't bend with seasons, it survives because it's firm.
I'm not ashamed. I stand my ground, I won't die. To shift inside, I'm not ashamed. This truth remains unmoved, unchanged.
I don't confuse love with silence or mercy with retreat. You can carry truth gently and still refuse defeat. I don't shout to prove belief, I live it where it costs. Faith isn't loud when it's real, it's steady after loss.
If standing makes me lonely, then I'll stand anyway. I'd rather walk with God alone than blend in and drift away. I'm not ashamed, I know His name, I won't trade light for lesser flame. No noise, no crowd, just truth. Still standing.
Before the doubt, before the fear, there's God.
My God is this big, I don't need to embellish. I've seen Him move weight where the world said relinquish. I've watched mountains shift, not always in stone. Sometimes in the chest where fear made a home. The earth doesn't tremble unless He allows. Every force in creation still answers Him now. I don't scale my belief to what I can see. I measure the world by who God is to me.
When I remember who He is, everything else finds its size.
My God is this big, He moves the mountains. My God is this strong, He shakes the ground. My God still speaks and the earth listens. Nothing stands when He comes down.
I've seen seas split open without warning the noise. I've seen silence break chains louder than choice. Kings rise and fall like dust in His hand. History bends around what He planned. The ground I'm standing on is held, not assumed. Every breath I take was authored by truth. I don't fear the dark, it's familiar to Him. He spoke into nothing and light walked in.
My God is this big, He moves the mountains. My God is this sure, He stands His ground. My God still reigns above the shaking. Nothing holds when He comes down. My God is this big, He moves the mountains. My God is this sure, He stands His ground. My God still reigns above the shaking. Nothing holds when He comes down.
When the world feels unstable, I don't panic or run. I remember creation started when He said one. Every promise He spoke still carries His name. Time doesn't weaken it, pressure doesn't change it. If He tells me to walk, I don't ask for the proof. The same voice that made worlds still tells me the truth.
If He can move mountains, He can move me. If He could shake earth, He could free me.
My God is this big, He moves the mountains. My God is alive, He shakes the ground. My God still rules above the chaos. Nothing stands when He comes down. My God is this big, my God is alive. My God still rules above the chaos.
Nothing stands when He comes down. I don't need Him smaller to feel safe. I need Him exactly as He is.
The world shakes. God does not. Everything around me shifting. Every headline bends the frame. Truth diluted by convenience. Same confusion, new campaign. I've watched foundations built on noise crack the second way to rise.
what they called unbreakable. Couldn't stand when tested by time. But there's a depth beneath the surface, lower than the fear they sell. Something holding firm and silent when the whole world starts to swell. Chaos moves, truth remains. He is unmoved, unshaken, standing through the sound. He is unmoved, unbroken when the whole world's coming down. Me now, me now. Me now, me now. Nations rise like pressure front, fall without a warning sign. Power thinks it owns tomorrow, till it meets the edge of time. Yeah. Crowds keep chasing revelation like it hasn't already been said. But the same word that shaped the beginning still holds the end. I don't anchor to reactions, I don't borrow fear. I stand on what was spoken, long before the shaking here. He is unmoved, unchanging when the ground gives way. He is unmoved, unfading, the same yesterday. I don't need to calm explain, I just need to stay aligned. If the axis of the culture tilts, truth doesn't lose its line. Yeah. When the pressure tries to name me, when the noise demands I obey, I remember who was standing before the storm began.
The earth can tremble, the seas can rise, but God does not
adjust his throne. He is unmoved, unshaken beyond the quake and roar. He is unmoved, unbroken, the rock beneath it all. He is unmoved.
I'm not. I don't stand because nothing shakes. I stand because he doesn't. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I didn't schedule this. I didn't prepare the ground. I just felt it, and everything followed. Yeah. When the Lord moves, I don't stall it out. No pause for the doubt that's crawling loud. I was planted, now I'm pulled from the soil like roots and recall when the ground starts to shout. I don't ask for the why when the fire steps in. I don't tidy the room when the shaking begins. There's a sound in my chest like a war drum hit, and my feet start moving before I can stand. I try standing still, but the stillness broke like a matchstick faith when the wind got woke. Now amidst that faith in the free fall, trust with a grip on nothing but a word I spoke. I was calm till the call came sharp as a blade. Cut through, comfort, rearranged my days. Had plans on the table, maps in my hand. Now the ink's running wild cause he said go man. I don't drift, I don't glide, I don't float on belief. I get shoved into purpose for holy relief. It's not peace like sleep, it's peace like motion, like a door blown open by an unseen breeze. Every muscle remembers what fear forgot. Every step is a yes even when I'm not ready. Steady, already in stride. When obedience hits, there's no time to decide. This is an impulse, this is alignment. That's speed. This isn't an impulse, this is alignment. This is alignment, alignment at speed. I've seen him move rooms without touching the wall, shift whole directions with a whisper call. I was minding my limits, counting my loss till the ground leaned forward and said now walk. I don't negotiate when the signal's clear, I don't bargain fate for another year. There's a pull like gravity under my ribs, and resistance snaps when the order appears. I've learned delay is just fear with manners, and comfort's a cage with polite little banners. When he moves, the only safe place is motion itself. No anchors, no planner, so I move when he moves. No freeze frame faith, no give me a minute, no softer pace. Have I run my doubts, if I saying yes, left hesitant, choked on my second guess. When the Lord moves, he doesn't send a memo, he sends more and memo. Man expects the rest. Move when he moves, step when he steps, go when he goes, don't overthink depth. Move when he moves, now not soon. The moment he breathes, the room changes shape, and so do you. I didn't lose control, I gave it back. And that's when everything started moving.
So do you.
He didn't stutter. I heard him clear.
If he said go, I don't wait for the weather. I don't check the room, don't gather the tether. Faith doesn't need a countdown clock. When the word hits hard like a starter's block. No delay, no, give me a sign. The sign was the pull in the back of my spine. I was mid-thought, mid-plan, mid-excuse. Now my feet in motion before I choose. I learned hesitation wears holy clothes. Talks real calm, but it moves real slow. But obedience doesn't ask for consent. It hits like truth and demands intent. Go, no, now. Don't stall the ground. Don't slow the step when the call comes down. I don't rehearse faith in a quiet room. I live it loud when the moment blooms.
No delay, no delay. If he says move,
I'm already on my way. No delay, no delay. If he says move, I'm already on my way. I don't negotiate terms with fear. I don't wait till the coast feels clear. Every second I stall is a second I choose the comfort I know over truth that moves. I've seen faith rot in the parking lot, engine running, but the wheels won't rock. They wanted certainty, maps and proof, while the door swung open in the moment flew. God doesn't whisper to spark debate, he speaks to activate, not mediate. If he said step, then step means now. Not when I understand how. No delay, no delay, no delay, no delay. Don't wait for a safer day. No delay, no delay, no delay. Don't wait for a safer day. Delayed obedience is just disobedience. We're impatience. I don't pray circles around the truth. I move straight lines when the order's proved. Not reckless, just released from the weight of need and peace. Before peace, if he leads, I'm gone. No rear view faith, no looking long. When the car doesn't echo, it cuts direct. And movement is the only correct response. Loud now, don't stall the sound. The ground already knows what I'm about. When he moves, I don't ask what if. I move like trust is an active verb. He said go, so I went. No delay. No delay.
Wind in my face, still moving.
Yeah. Rain don't vote on my direction. Thunder don't get jurisdiction. I was sent before the clouds rolled in, so I don't wait for better conditions. Boot soaked, still stepping straight. Faith don't fold for a weather change. I don't stall when the pressure hits. That's when movement separates. I've seen people pray for shelter while the door was marked advance. They wanted peace before obedience. God wanted feet before stance. Head down, pace up, no retreat. Storm loud, but it can't outspeak. The word that put me in motion doesn't lose force in a headwind peak.
Forward only, no reverse, no rewind. Forward only, I don't walk what's left behind.
Fear sounds smart and a hurricane talks real calm about waiting it out. But the latents are calling cold and excuses start sounding devout. I don't confuse caution with wisdom or patience with staying still. If he said move into the storm, then the storm is part of the will.
I wasn't promised dry ground, I was promised a way through. And every step that breaks resistance proves the call was true. If the storm showed up, good, that means you're moving.
I don't stop to argue with waves, I don't debate wine speed. I don't need silence to obey, I just need to proceed. Faith don't come with hazard lights or a shoulder to pull aside. It's a straight line charged through chaos with the word as the guide.
Forward only, through the rain, through the noise. Forward only, storm or not, I made my choice. Still
struggle with the weight still pressing my lungs. Same war, same loaded tongues. They've been the truth till it fits their hands, then wonder why nothing holds when it finally lands. I've seen waves rise higher than resolve, seen loud men when the quiet was called. I watched storms try to rewrite ground, but the ground don't move when it's truth bound. I didn't dodge it, didn't duck the flame, didn't rename right just to ease the strain. I stayed planted while the pressure grew, now the dust settling and I'm still true. Still standing, didn't run, didn't fold, still standing. Same faith, same code. They said better be buried, better be broken. Traded conviction for softer tokens, but bottled peace always comes with a bill. And I don't know fear, nothing ever will. I've learned silence can sound like strength when you don't flinch at the pull of length. I don't chase noise, don't answer bait. I let time prove who could really wait. Truth don't need a trend and run. It outlived crowds when the crowd is done. I didn't move when the lines got thin, now the line's clear, and I'm still standing. Through the shake, through the strain, still standing. When the storm lost its name, still standing. Through the shake, through the strain, still standing. When the storm lost its name, they called it wisdom to loosen grip. Said survival means let things slip, but every inch you surrender first becomes a space where the lie gets worse. I watch whole rooms shift shape and tone just to avoid standing alone. I chose the narrow, chose the still, chose the weight of standing still. Didn't shout it, didn't boast, didn't turn my faith to a social post. I stayed put while the moment passed, now the moment's gone, and I still last. Still standing, no disguise from the screen. Still standing, clear eye, still standing. No disguise from the screen. Still standing, clear eye. I've been tired without retreat, been one thing but stayed on my feet. Learned endurance isn't loud or fast, it's choosing ground that's built to last. When the pressure asked me who I was, I answered with where I stood. Not perfect, not untouched, just rooted where I should. I've learned storms don't prove you wrong, they just test how long you'll stay. And the ones who stand when it's over aren't shocked, they're still this way, not loud, not shaken. Still standing, after it all. Still standing, same ground, still standing, same ground, still standing, the storm moved on, I didn't. The storm moved on, I didn't. The storm moved on, I didn't.
Before I knew his name, he knew mine. I learned a lot of things the hard way. Learned the world doesn't hold you up for free. But the first truth that ever stayed with me wasn't loud, it was steady underneath. Before the rules, before the weight, before I learned how to calculate, there was a presence I couldn't explain that didn't leave when the ground gave way. I watched love get traded for approval, watched truth get dressed to entertain. But the love that found me at the beginning never asked me to perform or change. They taught me strength meant standing alone, taught me doubt was how you grow. But I was already being carried before I learned how to let go. Jesus loves me. Not as a slogan, not as a song, as a fact that held when everything went wrong. Not earned, not borrowed, not proved by noise, just present before I had a choice. Still held, still held. I've stood my ground, I've held my line, I've seen fate tested by fire and time. But the deepest thing I stand upon isn't how loud I defend what's right, it's knowing I was never alone. Even when I didn't know how to pray, that love didn't wait for understanding, it stayed. Jesus loved me before I stood, before I knew. That truth didn't fade, so neither did I. Before I learned the rules, I was already known. I didn't grow into love, I grew inside it. Before I learned the world could be
cold and divided. Before I carried weight, before I learned to pretend there was something steady that didn't leave when things bent. I've seen truth dressed up to survive the room, seen fear get renamed so it sounded like wisdom. But the first thing that held me never asked for proof. It stayed when everything else needed something to use. I learned early the world will charge you to belong, will teach you to sing louder just to prove you're strong. But I wasn't built on noise, I was built on ground, and the ground didn't shift when the pressure came down. Jesus loves me. Not as a slogan, not as a song, as a fact that stood when everything went wrong. Not earned, not borrowed, not proved by fear, just present before I ever got here. I stood my line while the room leaned hard, watch people trade truth for a softer card. But love doesn't bend to be understood, it stays where it is, because it's good, still here. I didn't outgrow that truth, I grew deeper into it. And when the world shook, it was still under my feet. Still standing, still here. Still here.
I didn't move, not because it was easy, but because leaving would have meant lying about why I stay.
I watched the room relearn its language. Every time the truth made people uncomfortable. Saw conviction get reframed as aggression, and silence praised as being reasonable. They said clarity was dangerous, as certainty was a flaw. But I wasn't arguing a position, I was standing where I was taught. I learned early that erosion never starts with a collapse. It starts with small permissions that ask you not to notice what you're trading back. I've seen fear develop manners, learn how to sound informed, dress retreat up as compassion so it wouldn't look like being warned. They asked why I wouldn't soften, why I wouldn't leave it vague, why I wouldn't let the line blur just enough to keep my place. But truth doesn't survive by blending in, and it doesn't stay alive by being loud. It stays because it's rooted deeper than the moves to move the crowd.
I didn't move,
I didn't move. I didn't move. I didn't move. I didn't move. Yeah. I didn't freeze when it got tense, didn't flinch when pressure leaned, didn't call confusion wisdom just because agreement felt clean. I watched people trade foundations for applause that wouldn't last, mistake momentum for direction, mistakes speak for depth and grasp. But there's a cost to constant motion when you never ask where you're headed, and there's a strength to staying put when the ground beneath you steady. I've lost invitations, I've lost rooms, I've lost these that came from saying less than what was true. I've lost the comfort of being liked by people who confuse peace with quiet. But I didn't lose myself trying to make the tension lighter, cause the truth that holds weight doesn't need defending every hour. It just stands where it stands unless time reveals its power. I didn't move. 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 And when the noise burned through itself, when the crowd went looking new, when the same arguments came back around wearing different suits, I was still standing in the same place, not because I want to fight, but because the ground never asked me to justify why it was right. Still here. Still here. Not finished.
I didn't walk alone. I never did. Yeah.
Every step I took through pressure, every line I chose to hold, every time the world got louder and the truth got treated cold. There was something steady with me, something nearer than my breath. Not a theory, not a feeling, not a promise meant for death. I watch fear dress up as wisdom, watch surrender, learn to pray. Watch confusion call it self-compassion just to get its way. But it was a presence in the middle, not above it, not removed. It didn't flinch when things got violent, didn't leave when things got crude. I didn't borrow strength from moments, didn't build my ground on trends. I stood because I wasn't standing by myself against the wind. I learned early faith is fragile, it's not loud but it is real. It doesn't need the room's permission to remain what it revealed. There's a shield that doesn't shimmer, doesn't beg to be admired. It just stands
between the blow and what the blow was sent to tire. He stood with me when I stayed and didn't bend, when I moved without delay, when the storm showed up uninvited, then I chose the narrow way, when the ground shook under pressure and the noise demanded proof, when love stayed simple and the marquee didn't, truth refused to move, when I was loved before I earned it, held before I understood, when the cost was counted clearly and I stayed because I should. He was there in every chapter, not as metaphor or theme, but his presence and the weight of it, closer than it seemed. Not a crown, not a banner, not a distance shouted loud, but a guard at arm's length steady in the middle of the crowd. There were blows that never landed, there were lines that never crossed, there were moments I'm still standing only knowing what it cost, because the shield doesn't stop the battle, it decides what gets through, and the reason I'm still standing isn't strength, it's who I stood next to, next to, next to, next to, next to, next to. It's who I stood next to. Jesus stood with me. Jesus stood with me.
So I don't brag about surviving, I don't boast about the ground, I just name what held me upright when everything spun around. I don't call it luck or timing, I don't soften what I mean. There was power in the presence of the man from Galilee. Not behind me, not ahead, not abstract or unseen, but beside me in the fire where I learned what standing means. Every step, every scar, every mile that asked too much, every truth that stayed unbroken, every time I didn't rush, every storm, every cost, every night I chose to stay bound together by one presence that did not look away. I stood because he stood with me. That's the binding.